to the UK. Britain's new Prime Minister Keir Starmer says that he wants to work more closely with European partners in areas including illegal immigration, as well as supporting Ukraine in its war against Russia. Starmer was speaking at the close of a European summit in England. 45 government heads, including the leaders of Germany and France, joined talks on the challenges facing Europe. Starmer stressed that his government would remain steadfast in its support for Ukraine.
Now, we need to be clear. Ukraine is fighting not just for the Ukrainian people, though of course it is, but for the European people, for freedom, democracy and the rule of law. And our security, therefore, starts in Ukraine. So we pledge to President Zelensky once again that we will stand with Ukraine for as long as it takes.
All right, I want to cross now to our correspondent, Birgit Moss. She is at that conference at Blenheim Palace. Birgit, good to see you. So we are one day after the King's speech and the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, hosting the European Political Community Conference. At least it looks like he's keeping his promise to improve relations with Europe.
That's really one of his big aims, Brent. We've just heard Keir Starmer speak in a press conference, and he seemed quite happy and relaxed and pleased with himself that he was able to set a new tone with Europe. Remember, he actually fought for the side of Remain during the Brexit campaign, so he is really in a good position. He's able to talk to European leaders just 2 weeks after he's been elected, and what a great setting. Winston Churchill's birthplace. He's meeting all these European leaders. He's having dinner with French President Emmanuel Macron, so really a fantastic opportunity for him to reset these relations with Europe.
All right, that sounds all good. Let's talk about what many maybe would consider the negatives here. Do you have the impression that these leaders are preparing Europe for the second Donald Trump presidency?
That was not formally on the agenda, and leaders have stressed that this is about Europe. So this is not what happens in the US, it's what happens here in Europe. But in a way, I think maybe potential President Trump might be the elephant in the room. So I think behind closed doors, for sure, leaders would be talking about that prospect. And also they're making sure that they create some unity, some European defense cooperation, and just an opportunity really also these informal meetings is what they have stressed to discuss issues that are on everyone's mind, but they don't have to come to a formal conclusion. But it's sort of common understanding, and these informal meetings on the sidelines that are also really important as well.
And this, of course, brings us to the war in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky, he was also at this conference. Do we know what did he take home with him?
He can take home a signal, at least, of strong support. It's what there was a first sentence of Keir Starmer's press conference, that security in Europe starts in Ukraine. So that's really the most important item on the agenda, is the support for Ukraine. And from what we're hearing here behind these walls, President Zelensky was kind of the star guest, and people really took great care to be able to speak to him and to communicate to him that there is a continued commitment in Europe to Ukraine.
Our very own Birgit Moss at Blenheim Palace with the latest on this conference. Birgit, thank you.